Hello, my amazing creative friend. If you're here, there's a chance that you've been maybe at Michael's or some other craft store and you just walked in thinking, oh, maybe I'll get some art supplies. But then once you actually got down that aisle and you started looking around and you saw the millions of tubes of paint and the millions of different types of paintbrushes and the bazillion different types of canvases. And I just sometimes have those moments where I have like that little brain exploding emoji flashing through my mind. And I'm just like, but why? There's way too many choices. And I totally feel you. I have been there before myself. And you may have walked in feeling inspired and then left just feeling like, oh, never mind. I'm just gonna binge watch something on Netflix. No judgment. I do that all the time. Take a deep breath with me. And I want to let you know that it's totally normal that this sense of overwhelm and too many choices is the number one reason people never pick up a paintbrush. They're just overwhelmed. We have these myths that we think we need all these art supplies, or we need to go in and spend like $500 to be able to get what we need to be able to call ourselves an artist and to be able to create. Now, I'm here to bust that myth. Today, I'm going to show you the basic supplies that you need to get started. It's so minimal that you might be surprised that you only need 3 colors of paint to get started. And this is so liberating. Let's talk about the first supply. And in my opinion, the most important, it is the cornerstone, it is the foundation, it is what you're actually gonna see in the painting is your paint. So what I always tell people, all you need are red, yellow, and blue. So you only need the 3 primary colors plus black and white, and that is it. This is going to be your minimalist foundation and what I teach in my overall method. And this just eliminates that overwhelm and this idea that you need a million tubes of paint, and it gets really expensive and it gets really complicated when you're just beginning. So I always tell people this is all you need. 5 tubes of paint, 3 colors, and that's it. And I wonder if you can relate to this, but for me, sometimes, and this still happens to me today, there's like, again, a gazillion different colors of tubes that they sell. And sometimes I'll be looking at a tube sort of like this, reading the words, and I'm just like, what? What does that say? I cannot understand. I had no idea that I needed a translator to just read the tube of paint. And that can be really feel like it just squashes your creativity and your confidence. And I just want to let you know that it doesn't matter. All you need are these 3 beauties right here. And again, black and white paint. And let me tell you, these colors are like magic because that's all you need. And when you learn how they all play together, you can make any color in the rainbow, and it does not need a secret handshake or some word that you cannot pronounce. Paint mixing is a key element to this super simple approach to just having those 3 colors, red, yellow, and blue. Mixing yellow and blue, voila, now you have your green. Next, we're going to go ahead and show you how you do not need to have orange because you have yellow and you have red. You're good to go. You do not need to buy orange because you have red and yellow. And you're like, Wendy, but what about purple? All right, so we got you. You've got blue, and if you've got red, then you have got your purple paint. And this right here is all your palette needs to look like. A little bit of those basic colors, and isn't that a breath of fresh air? It is to me. Now, the next topic I see that can add just as much confusion, maybe not as much, but a lot, is on your brushes. And again, simplicity is key here, and I recommend just a minimum of 3, maximum of 5. Right in that range is going to be perfect to start. Now, and you can even do just a whole painting with one brush. I mean, you don't even need a brush. You could use your fingers like the good old days when we were kids, right? But it is fun to use a brush. So what I recommend getting, large flat brush. So this is about a 1-inch flat brush. And then you have a medium flat brush. And this one's more 1/2 inch. And then you have a small round brush. Now a round brush is just a pointy tipped brush. Those are the only brushes you need. Now I also recommend this 5 brush set, which just adds in a larger round brush. And then it adds a filbert, which is a round top brush. So that is all you're gonna need for your brushes. Now, the next thing that I can get some questions about often is the canvas. Now, obviously you can paint on anything that you can get your hands on. You can even use cardboard if you wanted to, but I do recommend getting a wrapped canvas. So it's something that looks like this, doesn't have to be super crazy, and these are super affordable. And they're ready to go. They're already pre-stapled on there and they're pre-primed and everything. So you have, it's just the perfect beginner canvas to work with. You could also use a panel canvas, which is also really great and saves you some space and money. But I do prefer the wrap canvas personally, but either of these options is going to do well. And I usually work in an 8x10 size for my short YouTube tutorials. And then in my other longer form content, I use a 12x16 or even a 16x20 at times. So those are the canvases you want to start with. Again, either a wrapped cotton canvas or a panel canvas. Now, those were the meat of the supplies. You know, you got your paint, you got your brushes, you got your canvas. Now, the only 2 little supporting rolls left that you're going to need is a paper towel or a rag and a cup of water for rinsing your paintbrushes and even adding into your paint, because your acrylic paints, which is what we're working with, are water-based. So a couple of other items to think about. Sometimes people want to grab an easel. I don't call that a necessity. A lot of times I just paint on the ground. No big deal. For a palette, you also don't really need to get anything. Anything that's not absorbent is going to work. So you can put the paint on anything and use it as a palette. So these are things you're just scrapping around. The minimalist approach here is what's going to get you going. It's what's going to get you into gear, because you're not in that overwhelm. A lot of times when we get in that overwhelm, we don't know what to get. There's too many choices and we just totally shut down. Sometimes when I'm really hungry and I want dinner, I gravitate towards places that are really simple. Like I live in California and we have In-N-Out. They literally have 5 things on the menu and it just makes it so easy. It's like, what are you having? Well, whatever you're serving, which is very few options, and it just eliminates that overwhelm and stress when you're already hungry and you don't really want to make a decision from a menu that has 100 things. So it's the same thing, you know, you just sometimes need that to get started, to get it done. So I want you to use this little push as a tool of inspiration to get you out there, get those basic simple things. And if you want a little bit more information about how that can work for you, I have created a free 20-minute guide called The 3-Color Secret. And it's going to take you a little bit deeper into the pitfalls that you might come across while choosing your supplies and how to really narrow it down and streamline. We're also going to be doing a free, really quick paint along that requires 0 preparation. So I want you to go ahead and grab that free gift that I made just for you, because I want to see you create. That's why I do this. That's why I make this YouTube channel. I know the pain of being creatively blocked. It's so not fun. It's the worst. And I don't want you to be in that space any longer if you've been feeling that way, if you've been feeling overwhelmed, or if you've been watching people make art going, gosh, I wish I could do that. I'm here to tell you, you can do it. So grab that free gift right in the link below, 20 minutes, and it's going to change your whole approach and hopefully light that flame and get you into action and get you back to creating like you were meant to do.